Hey, horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. Yes, here to do another movie review. Yes, I finally saw the remake of Suspiria, and now I'm going to do a review about it. Yes. Now, Suspiria is a 2018 supernatural psychological horror film. It was directed by Luca Guadagnino. I say that three times. Written by David Konachik. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I probably butchers that one. Obviously, this is a remake of the 1977 Italian Gallo horror film Suspiria, the written and directed by the great Dario Argento. Yes, this movie stars Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Mia Goth, and Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah, it took me a while to finally see this picture, and I finally saw it last week, and then here's what I thought about Suspiria. Now, the plot of the film, or the premise of the film, is very simple. We have an American woman who enrolls in a prestigious dance academy in Berlin. It is run by a coven of witches. A dark circle swirls around, and what will engage all the students will engage not only the student, the art director, and its grieving psychotherapist. There's some type of dark thing going around this school, and when it comes to the final curtain, one who will survive it, one will be awakened, and secrets will be revealed. And that's basically what the premise of this film is about. Now, to be honest, I really don't know what this film is supposed to be about. I had to watch this thing twice. Now, the first time I understood what the movie is and what the basic overall plot that the movie was trying to tell. But I just couldn't figure it out. It was so hard to understand what this movie was about. They had to watch it twice. Now, it seems to me that obviously Luca probably wanted to take Argento's Three Mothers trilogy and combine it into one movie. I think that's what he wanted to do. And instead of making a good film, he has this. And I don't know what you're going to call it, but I think that's what he was trying to do. Now, basically, we do get some beginning of the plot of the movie. We have Suzanne, or Susie, who's an American student from, I believe, Chicago, who auditions and gets a spot at the prestigious Dance Academy, replacing a missing student, Patricia, that we see in the early part of the film. Now, it's not long before the audience realizes that this particular dance academy is a front for a coven of witches, or it's run by a coven of witches. That's basically what we find out as the story moves along. Now, the one thing I will give Guadagnino credit for not trying to copy Argento's color style that he used in the original film. No, he chose to give this a much more bleak, winterish look in the film. As we see the film, it's very gray, it's very winterish, it's in the winter. It's very bleak. It's very bleak looking. There's not any vibrant colors. The only colors that we see is the colors that the dancers wear during their performance, right around the end of the second act or the beginning of the third act of the film. Yeah, so that's basically one good thing I will give him credit for, is not to try to cop Argento's color scheme in the original. He creates his own cinematic part of the film, and I kind of like that. It does give the film sort of desperate look, some type of bleak feel. So I do give him credit for how the film looks. Also, another interesting point that I wanted to make is that the film takes place in 1977. So I guess that sort of accentuates the bleakness, because it's around the time, I believe it's called the German Autumn, where there was some type of kidnappings. The state was in type of civil rescue, because we still had the Berlin Wall up at that particular time. As you notice, some parts of the film, you can see people going back and forth between the wall, and they had to pass the gates from East to West Germany. So you still had that aspect in the film. So I guess it sort of enhanced the bleak setting of the film. My main problem, and I do mean I have a huge problem with this film, is the lack of plot, or the lack of any upness in the plot to make us care anything is about what is the plan of the witches and what do they do. First of all, as a horror film, this is not even scary. There's no tension. There's no jump scares. I can tell you that right now. So any casual horror fan that's looking for jump scares out this picture, you are not going to get it. Now, I understand that a lot of people probably call this an artsy film, and I guess it kind of is. But even in arts films, you do get type of tension in those type of films. Like It Follows or the first Sinister film. You do have tensions in those films. This film has no tension whatsoever. Another big problem is there is no character built up in this film. No one really didn't care about any of the characters in this film. And then they have this one character, the psychotherapist Joseph, who is also played by Tilda Swinton, and he basically serves no purpose in the film. I mean, what is he there for? Other than provide some type of exposition when he meets up with Patricia in the first part of the film. But after that, the only thing we know about him is that he survived the Holocaust. His wife disappeared during the time at that time, and he lives some part of East or West Germany. And then, of course, he meets Sarah, which we'll talk about later on. But he basically serves the purpose of the film. I don't know what does he serves any narrative, or he's just there to show off Tilda Swinton's acting chops. And as I stated before, we have Sarah, played by Mia Goth. When she discovers the truth about what the witches are doing and what they're planning to do, we don't care about the bad things that happens to her when danger starts to appear. We have her seeing her talk with the psychotherapist, but those scenes don't do anything. They don't drive the danger that we have because there's no build up in the characters. They're just there, and that's plain and simple. Now let's talk about that third act. Now, those who have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. I truly don't understand what the purpose is. I mean, I understand what the plot they were doing and what they were there for, but to me, it really didn't serve any purpose to make me care about anything. And again, because there's no character build up, so we don't care about anything that's happening to any of the characters on the film. The supposedly secret regarding Susie that we see is revealed has no suspense whatsoever. It's just, wow, she okay. Well, okay. It just didn't do anything for me. Now, the scene looks like some type of a set of an off Broadway show instead of a film, mainly because of how it's filmed. The film rate, it looks, I don't know, it looks like something that I've seen worse from found footage. It looks like found footage films of how they decided to film this final dance sequence in the third act of the film. Then you have some terrible special effects. It looks like bad CGI. I've seen better CGI and other horror pictures. You got some bad CGI. But the main thing, again, is that it serves no purpose because we simply do not care about any of the characters of the film. Now, I will give some credit from Dakota Johnson and Tilda Swinton. They're pretty good in the film, and they do have some good chemistry when they're alone on the screen. But again, because they have no character build-up, we simply just don't care. I don't know what his idea was or what the screenwriter and the filmmakers were trying to do with this film. But obviously, they were trying to, I don't know if they tried to make this too artsy or too whatever. It just doesn't work. For me, it just didn't work at all. It's not a bad film. It's just, I don't know. It's just there. So despite some pretty good performances between Tilda Swinton and Dakota Johnson, we just have a film that's just there. It's not scary. There's lack of character buildup. There's no suspense. There's nothing really terrible that happens in this film. I don't know. Well, the Horror Miser is going to open up his vote. And I'm going to give Suspiria 1.5 out of my 5 gold coins. Yes, I'm going to give it 1.5 out of my 5 gold coins. Yes, it's just there. It's not bad. I've seen worse movies. I've seen much way better. If I were you, I'd stick with the original. So, my horror fans, what do you think about Suspiria? Do you think this is an excellent remake of Dario Argento's masterpiece from the Three Mothers trilogy? Or do you think they just simply fell flat on its face and this is another bad remake? Leave your comments down in your comment section below and tell me what you thought about Suspiria. Once again, my horror fans, that's it. That's my video for today. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give the thumbs up because it does help the channel out a lot. And once again, this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, Horror rules. Vince, take us home. We're out.